You ever just wake up and ask yourself, am I in Florida right now? Because I swear to God, this world is getting wackier and scarier day to day, no matter where you are. It feels like back in the day I could go outside, catch some fresh air, and not fear that I was going to get ran over by someone mindlessly scrolling through Instagram Reels while driving at the same time. But in all reality, I swear every time I look around on the internet, I see some truly tragic things happening, from impending wars, homelessness, car crashes, to murders, to shootings, even terrorist acts. You get the point. Now, the thing that I actually wanted to talk about today is an act of terror. An ongoing act of terror, mind you. But there's something a little spicy about this one. This one's on my home turf. Now, without doxing myself, this takes place in my lovely state of Florida 2.0, aka Colorado. Now, I've been living in this lovely square state for the better half of 20 years now, and let me tell you, there's some weird things that happen. This is the place where you can get weed up the wazoo and see a Subaru every other car that you drive past on the highway. A state that no one is really from, but acts like they're from. Now, this whole situation of terror started out with me going out to my mailbox, which, yes, I go outside. When I was on my way to my mailbox, I heard a big boom. A boom bigger than any boom that the Costco guys have given any of the items on Costco's menu.
Oh, we're so sorry to hear about your brother that passed away. He gets 5 big booms. Boom! 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 Boom!
It actually almost sounded like when they boom an avalanche up in the mountains, if you've ever heard that. If you haven't, then I'm going to put it up on the screen real fast.
On target, clear down range. Okay, let's do it again. Fire!
Finally, pay dirt.
So here comes one down now. This is exactly what they want to have happen. Have these things come down and land right before the road, before they get built up too much and take somebody out.
Jesus, man, this is the first time I actually watched that clip. If that isn't some patriotic shit, I don't know what is. I don't think that's how they do it in my state, but I guess that's how they do it in other states with fucking Civil War technology. Our forefathers would be very proud of that. But you get the point. Big explosion equals snow control causing avalanches. They typically do that so when people go and ski, they don't get caught up in an avalanche when they're going down steep terrain that has the chance to potentially avalanche. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. I heard this big ass boom, then a second one in rapid succession. I honestly didn't know what it was. I've heard gunshots before, but nothing like this. I really didn't look too much into it. Maybe someone was lighting off some fireworks down at the park celebrating the holidays, which, by the way, Happy New Year's if you've gotten this far in the video. But I started getting ring notifications on my phone about these loud explosions, that these explosions were not from fireworks, but something else. By the way, I'm sure a lot of you have these like Ring cameras or whatever, but if you don't have something like that, get something. This is obviously not sponsored, giving my sub count and my view count and all that. I just make these videos for fun. But like I said, there's a lot of crazy shit out in the world. Everything's turning into Florida, and it's better to be safe than sorry. Also, with the Ring app, you can just see all the wild shit going on around you. I personally have like 4 of them installed on my home, and I get to see everything. I got my like quad monitor set up, dude, watching all my Ring cameras at once. I'm like a fucking security guard in my own home. That's my second job after I get off my first job. That's obviously a joke, but go get some protection. And no, I'm not talking about condoms. Just go get a Ring camera or some sort of security measure so you can protect yourself. No, back to the story. With me being the anxious wreck that I am, I always assumed the worst. I had a million things going through my head as to what that could be, but there was one thing that kind of stuck out in my head. I asked myself, was that a bomb? And that's not too far-fetched. I mean, come on, it's 2026. There's a fucking bombing every other day. Like, is there some douchebag setting off bombs on Christmas week? No shot, right? Now, let me tell you, the apple didn't fall too far from the tree with that idea because I was spot on. I was on the money with that shitty ass prediction. There's a man who, as the time of recording this, is still on the run, allegedly making homemade bombs and planting them on running trails. You heard that right. On a running trail. For anyone who lives in this state, this kind of reminds me of that time that one idiot a few years back blew himself up with a homemade mortar in a park. Let me know if any of you remember that. I would be shocked if any of you remember that because it's just such a weird news headline, especially given today's age with the sporadic, horrific news that we get. But the fact is that this is actually a horrifying thing. And the fact that they have not even caught this guy is even more horrific. But they do have some clues, some sneaky photos this culprit has left behind.
While police are looking for the person who has been going out to the Highline Canal Trail in the middle of the night with homemade explosives. Investigators just shared clearer images of who they're looking for. 9 News reporter Ria Jha is live in the area with more details. Ria, good morning.
I just wanted to jump in here and state that I heard these bomb explosions in the middle of the day. So if what he was saying is actually true with him planting these in the middle of the night, that means he was setting it off during the day, setting a trap for unexpected people. That's some scary shit.
Good morning. Yeah, we're right off of East Quincy Ave. It's in a pretty residential neighborhood, and while we haven't seen that many people here yet, this is a really popular trail for marathoners. So a lot of early morning runners, which is exactly when police say they've been seeing this person come out. So they said they've seen this person come out repeatedly on South Quincy Ave, stretching a little bit over 2 miles down to Bellevue. The person officers are looking for is described as a thin man, around 6 feet tall, usually dressed for cold weather, winter jacket, gloves, beanies, goggles, even a utility belt with a tactical pouch. Investigators believe he's riding a black, high-powered e-bike with wide tires. Police say the damage appears to be from small homemade explosive devices, and cameras caught him just this past weekend trying to do this again. So it's not the first time we've heard problems along this trail. Earlier this year, we reported on a sexual assault. Although in this case, there were no reported injuries, police believe this is more an act of vandalism than harm. So they're just hoping to identify this person. Anyone with information is asked to call Cherry Hills Village Police. Reporting live in Cherry Hills, Ria Jha, 9 News.
No, I'll keep it real with you guys here. I don't think this is an act of vandalism like the reporter stated. I believe this is an act of terror completely, 100%. Like I said earlier, I was hearing big booms going off in successive orders during the daytime on a holiday week. Which, newsflash, a lot of people, including myself, typically take these holiday times off to spend with family members and loved ones. I'm pretty sure there's even still people taking time off to the time of this recording. Also, I don't know how it is in other states, but it's been very, very warm here in my area for this time of the year. Actually, historically warm. Maybe these global warming protesters were onto something. But it's been a perfect running weather climate because it's been around 70 degrees all of December. And it doesn't plan on stopping from the looks of it. It seems like January is going to be a warm month as well. So with the weather being amazing, everyone's been out this time of year. They've been outside. And with Colorado being a very active state, and like the news reporter said, with this being a very high traffic zone for runners training for marathons, it really wouldn't shock me if this mystery man was out with murderous intent. Now, thank God this man is blind, or at least cosplaying as it, role-playing, whatever you want to call it, because no one has been injured by these bombs, and hopefully it stays that way. This might be an assumption, but I'm assuming this asshole might be manually blowing up these bombs. No, sadly, with this guy looking like he's straight out of Fortnite, we can't really get a clear image of who this guy is, sadly. I guess he was too scared to show his ugly mug, so who knows when they will be able to catch this guy, if they're able to catch him at all. I'll stay on it and see if I can make another video about it, maybe. I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like more and more of these bad actors keep getting away with horrendous acts day by day. I know this is a crazy thing that I'm about to say, but I wish everyone could just get along, but sadly that's not how society works. I mean, you guys have seen the news headlines. It's going crazy out there, and I don't expect it to stop with global conflicts, domestic conflicts, just everything in between. Humans are, how do I put it lightly, dumber than bricks. Sadly, this man was dropped on his head one too many times and bullied in the high school lunch line, causing him to become like this. Also, just want to mention a little game theory to the authorities here. Since the trail has had some crazy problems, well, with this guy, and apparently some SA issues as well per the reporter, which is fucking ballistic if you ask me. For a public trailhead to be having that issue is nuts. How about, I don't know, start monitoring it a little bit harder, and you gotta keep the people safe. I mean, this shit is very unacceptable for the state to be allowing. I mean, put some more cameras out there. Shit. Put Paul Blart Mall Cop out there on his little Segway scooter. He'll get the job done and lock that shit down. I don't know, just some food for thought here. Maybe we can put some of our taxes towards some actual useful shit. I don't know. And for anyone in the Denver region, stay safe out there. I encourage you to go look into this so you're not a potential victim of this guy. I'll try to stay posted and keep up with this story as much as I can. I might make a follow-up video depending on how it goes if I see something. I appreciate all the recent support. I think we're at around 120 subscribers right now, which is pretty awesome. And if you are new, please don't be a stranger and drop a sub if you like the content. We were posting about all sorts of random stuff here on the channel, so if you're into that, jump on board. Anyways, that's about it. I'll see you guys later. And actually, before I go, Happy New Year's to you guys. I wish you and your families prosperity and health throughout the year. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.